We talked about Ohio State and their decision to vacate their wins from last year, all of them. So they really basically have a blank record right now. Now it's an interesting situation because they basically gave themselves a slap on the wrist. Now the question remains is what's going to happen to this team? What's going to come of this from the NCAA? Does more sanctions, are they going to be taking place? Well, that is the question that we are trying to answer right now. And trying to answer that question, we have an Ohio State alum and a graduate from Ohio State, as well as a college football fiend on 790 The Zone and writer for National Football Authority. We have got on the phone right now Matt Baxendell. Do you think the NCAA comes back just a little bit harder now?
Well, I think, first of all, if you look over the last 10 years, there's great research done by a guy named Kyle Lamb who used to write for Buckeyes. In college football and in college basketball, in the Division I level, 28 schools have been hit with major violations, but were not hit with lack of institutional control or failure to monitor. And of those 28 schools, every single one that was not a repeat offender did not get a bowl ban. So based purely upon precedent, I don't think Ohio State's going to get a bowl ban. Now, whether or not scholarship reductions come down, that might not surprise me. Maybe 5 a year for 2 years or something along the line. You know, the Tattoo 5 that ended up getting to play in the Sugar Bowl last year. Maybe something like that will get added. Mm-hmm. But everybody's expecting Ohio State to get hammered like USC and just get completely shellacked. I think they're nuts. I mean, you have people like Bruce Feldman calling for a 5-year bowl ban, and he's out of his mind. You know, another thing that people don't want to talk about, don't really mention, is that USC, when you compare them to Ohio State, the major difference between the two, aside from the fact that at USC, you know, it was kind of an institution-wide thing where they kind of just looked the other way, whereas it was kind of just Jim Tressel at OSU. The difference is that Ohio State self-reported twice in this case. Twice. They told the NCAA about the tattoo stuff, and they told the NCAA about Jim Tressel. Like when Yahoo Sports came out with that report about Jim Tressel busted, well, the NCAA had known for almost 2 months by that time. Ohio State discovered it in early January, right after the Sugar Bowl. USC, on the flip side, for 5 years gave the NCAA a giant middle finger, and then when they got sanctioned, their athletic director, Mike Garrett, was quoted as saying it's just because they're all jealous they're not Trojan. So the NCAA, which has no subpoena power, which can't really investigate on its own, can't compel people to talk to them, having their institutions cooperating fully with them is the biggest thing for them. And I think Ohio State self-reporting is really going to be a major thing that prevents them from getting nailed by the NCAA.